You decide to build a tower that reaches outer space. It is a simple goal, just stack materials until the stars are within reach. However, physics has a very strict opinion on this. The first problem is the sheer weight of the structure itself. Steel seems like a logical choice. It is strong, it is plentiful, but the tower grows. Each new floor adds massive pressure to the base. Eventually, the bottom layers cannot support the trillions of tons above. The steel does not just bend, it reaches its compressive limit. The base of your tower begins to flow like warm wax. Your magnificent spire is now a very expensive, very tall puddle of metal. Carbon nanotubes provide a solution. Their strength-to-weight ratio is legendary. Now the tower reaches the stratosphere, but height introduces a new enemy. Wind, high-altitude jet streams slam into the structure at hundreds of miles per hour. The tower begins to sway. A small tilt at the base becomes a massive arc at the top. The oscillations grow. Every gust of wind adds energy to the system. The tower behaves like a giant tuning fork. The vibrations ripple downward. The molecules of the nanotubes are pushed to their absolute limit. The structure does not break immediately. Instead, it begins to whip back and forth, scrubbing the clouds from the sky in a rhythmic, terrifying dance. You try to stabilize it with guy wires. This requires anchors the size of small cities. The cables are under such immense tension that they slice through the Earth's crust like cheese wires. The anchors simply rip out of the ground, taking several zip codes with them. Now we consider the rotation of the Earth. The ground moves at 1,000 miles per hour. The top of the tower must move much faster to stay aligned. This is the Coriolis effect in action. The tower is no longer just a building. It is a rigid lever arm extending into the vacuum. As the Earth spins, the tower experiences a massive sideways force. The structural stress is astronomical. The nanotubes begin to scream. Microfractures spiderweb through the lattice. The material is fighting the rotation of the entire planet. This is a losing battle. The tower starts to lean, not because of wind, but because the Earth is trying to throw the tower off into space. The lean becomes a curve. The geometry shifts from a cylinder to a catastrophic arc of failing carbon. The tension is now beyond any known measurement of physics. Failure is inevitable. A single bond snaps. The energy release is instantaneous. The tower does not just fall, it disintegrates in a cascading failure of kinetic energy. The top section, moving at orbital velocities, is whipped sideways. It becomes a planetary-scale lash. As the tower collapses, it carves a path of absolute erasure across the continent. Entire mountain ranges are flattened by a falling wall of carbon. The impact creates a shockwave that circles the globe 3 times. The atmosphere is compressed so violently that it ignites. A line of fire follows the tower's descent. Forests vaporize. Oceans boil instantly upon contact with the falling debris. The kinetic energy converted to heat is equivalent to several thousand Tsar Bomba nukes detonating in a perfect line. The crust of the Earth buckles. Tectonic plates shift in response to the sudden redistribution of mass. The tower is gone. In its place is a scar that can be seen from Mars. The planetary weather system is permanently altered. It is now very windy everywhere. The final piece of the tower, the pinnacle, hits the ground at several kilometers per second. It doesn't just create a crater, it punches through the lithosphere. The spire penetrates deep into the mantle. Liquid magma is forced upward through the hole, erupting in a volcanic jet that reaches the stratosphere. The impact creates a localized gravitational anomaly. Nearby cities are pulled toward the crater before being incinerated by the heat. The shockwave shatters every window on the planet. The sonic boom is so loud it kills most surface-dwelling mammals instantly. The debris field covers half the hemisphere in a layer of carbon dust. Sunlight is blocked. The Earth enters a sudden artificial ice age. This is the impact winter. Everything that survived the fire now freezes. The remaining humans huddle in basements, wondering why anyone thought a tower was a good idea. The atmosphere is a toxic soup of vaporized steel and carbon. The planetary ecosystem has been reset to the primordial era. Evolution must start over from the microbes that survived in the deep ocean vents. The tower project is officially over budget and behind schedule. The construction site is now a glowing hole leading to the center of the Earth. In the aftermath, the global government attempts to assess the damage. They find that the tower's collapse caused a permanent shift in the Earth's axial tilt. Days are now 26 hours long. The seasonal cycles are completely ruined. Agriculture is impossible. The remaining survivors are too busy starving to worry about the architecture. However, a small team of lawyers survives in a reinforced bunker. They spend their remaining days arguing over who is legally responsible for the cleanup of the planetary scar. The final verdict is reached. The construction company is found liable for the destruction of the biosphere. They are fined $4 trillion. Since the company, the employees, and the currency no longer exist, the fine remains unpaid. This is a significant clerical error for the accountants. Next time, maybe we will just build a very tall ladder. Subscribe to the What If Club to see more ways to accidentally destroy the entire planet with basic engineering.